Dive into this thing. Okay, everyone. So I have been noticing there is a little bit of confusion over what actually qualifies as a lead, as well as we already did the follow-up session the other week with how often you follow up, but I also figured it might make more sense too if you understand where the leads are and how much more you follow up with them if we talk about them more. So I will share here in a minute, but had David make this cute little hot leads list. Gonna see it. We're gonna rate them kind of like you do chili pepper dishes. Extra fire is extra hot. So what I noticed, and I gotta say, Ash, you're probably the one that actually drew my attention to this the most, was when I got your last stats report and we you had listed leads, you hadn't listed everybody who showed up live in your last event. Well, all of those people are leads. And then I started looking at everybody's, and it triggered me that nobody was counting their events and the people who showed up and the people who signed up and things like that. So that made me realize we probably need a little bit more talk about what a lead actually is and when they become one and when they don't. So, of course, you guys know people, you know that it's people that are interested in some way in what it is you have to offer. Um, but and I know that isn't the case with you guys, but I'm going to put it out there for anybody seeing this future training. It is not anyone you've connected to, followed, or is connected to or following you on social media. Those are not leads. Because I get that a lot when online. I'm always correcting because people are like, oh, yeah, we had 200 people connect to me this week. I got 200 leads. No, you don't. I know that's not the case here, but I'm putting that out for future people there. So, but when people do actually become a lead, is when they either jump on your email list, they have started becoming a lead. They're not necessarily at that point a smoking hot lead, but they have definitely started to become a lead. When they start talking to you in the comments about your offers and services, or sending a DM or an email, even if it's just a light inquiry, they're starting to go into our first lead factor. And then, of course, the more they ask, the more interest they show, the more of a lead they actually are. Now, let me see. I will share David's lovely little screen here that he screened his little chart he made. So this is all going to make sense a little bit better. Uh, all my tabs are acting up big time. Okay, why can't I see the right one? That's weird. Why can't I share screen? David, will you send me the Canva link? That's the problem. He gave it to me as a download. Never mind. I know what the issue is. Send me the Canva link real quick in the thingy. That's why I can't share it. Anyway, so continuing on, I'll show you those in a minute. So the varying degrees of leads require different forms of communication and how often you follow up with them. So the hotter the lead, the faster we follow up and the more we follow up. It's not just the faster, but the more we follow up. So say you had somebody actually book a call, but they didn't say yes. Then they're actually going to start getting immediate DMs, immediate follow up, and they'll get it in the next few days. Over the course of the next few days, they can get it multiple times. Whereas someone who's just on your email list, well, if they haven't shown any other interest other than just signing up for your email list, they're only going to get the emails. That's it, nothing else. Now, depending on where people come from, you also will end up segmenting your email list too. So, say you just ran an event, you had people sign up, you had people actually attend, you had people attend and book a call. And of course, you had people actually sign up with you and pay you. So you've got four different types of leads there. So you actually want to be tracking those people so that you can actually segment your email list into your event after follow up. That way you can follow up differently with the people who signed up but didn't attend. People who signed up and attended get a different email because they didn't book a call. But people who signed up, booked a call, get one. And then, of course, the people who actually signed up and end up working with you, those go in your clients. They get whatever your clients get. So you want to know these kind of things, and you want to be able to segment your email list by leads, because then that more personalized email, of course, will result in a more potential of them becoming a client. DMs are the same way. You wouldn't want to follow up with the exact same DM for somebody who just signed up versus somebody who booked a call for an event. Also, like somebody who actually attended your event will get more DMs and more follow-up than somebody who just signed up. Same thing if they booked a call, then they get even more. Does all that make sense? Cool. Let me see if I can get this chart right now so we can show you the smoking hot leads. Here we go. Thanks, David. There we go. I forgot about that when I just downloaded it. I just hit download instead of let's actually do this. Okay, there we go. Wow. I have been tech challenged today. Ask Ash. He's already heard it too. It has been one of those things. It has not. Here's our lovely hot leads list. So I had each little fiery spot obviously is hotter and hotter and hotter. You got your signed up for your newsletter, signed up for your event, sent the DM asking about your services. They're hot, but they're actually not the hottest. A lot of people automatically assume that just because they've asked about it, it depends on their interest level. So we want to be really careful there that we don't rush into that and immediately like, oh my God, okay, you asked about it. Here's my buy link. Let's go now. Instead, we're going to take it a little slower. We're going to get to know them. They're asking for information, so we're going to give them the information. Then attended your free event. That's a 4 because they actually attended. And then, of course, the final 3, these are the smoking hot. These are the top of our leads list all the freaking time. So if you want to make a leads list, which I highly recommend, you want these 3 on it for sure. The book, the free event, definitely as well. But these 3 are going to get almost all of your attention, your follow-up, your nurturing, everything else. So you want to make sure they stay at the top, and that whatever your follow-up plan is, remember we did the follow-up training the other week. We'll drop a link to that in the group when we drop this just to connect you to it. So that you're following up enough with these guys, because they are the ones that have actually taken action. They are showing the most interest, and they definitely want to be there. They literally are smoking hot. These are the ones you have the most potential of closing out of all of these leads. Now, that's not just saying that someone who didn't sign up for your newsletter is a smoking hot lead. They could be. But if they haven't made any other action other than to sign up for your newsletter, then you just have to assume they're just going to be interested in the information at that point until they reach out and do something else. Does all that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So, does anybody here have a leads list already?
Only current and past clients.
Okay. Are you seeing where you can add more people to it then?
What do you mean? Bringing in new clients or reigniting people that I've worked with in the past?
Well, are you seeing where you can actually start adding more people to the leads list than just current and past clients? And now I know you're not running free events, but you do have people like DMing or emailing about your services here and there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I do follow up with them until they decide that I'm too expensive or whatever. So I mean, yes, there's always opportunity to bring new people in, obviously.
Yeah. So we want to expand your list, because a lot of times we do get stuck into thinking leads are only our current and past clients. So this actually opens the door up for more. Now, on average, it can take up to 90 days to close someone. But of course, I mean, from my example in the last master class, I mean, Ash here's a good example of that. We built a relationship for almost a year and a half before he signed up. So, it can take a while for someone to actually become a client. But that's why we want to follow up. That's why we want to nurture them. Now, people on your leads list move up and down depending on their responses and how long ago it was since they actually took action. Like, so I had people do the Encore Masterclass last week. So I'm still following them up with them. They're hot leads. But the people who attended back in June, they've actually come in down here. They're actually towards the signed up for event now. If they took no action whatsoever, they didn't book a call, maybe they did attend, but they're still here if they've taken no other action whatsoever. So realize your lead list fluctuates. Somebody who was a hot lead may not stay a hot lead, but you want to keep nurturing them because they did go into that slot at one point, which means that's why we want to switch to nurturing, not just selling. And that's also why we want to make sure we're following up and inviting them to our next events. Like everybody who attended my masterclass in June got an invite to this masterclass in August. It didn't matter if they signed up, but everybody that attended got a personal DM for sure. This one I actually ran out of time. In reality, everybody who had signed up would have gotten a DM for that event back in June. But I ran out of time, so at that point, only everybody who attended got it. So sometimes we do drop the ball and everything like that. But what you want to do is make sure that all these people are on your leads list. And I like to keep these actually in the 6 to 8 week range for sure, that I'm following up a lot more often with them.
I'm sorry, which ones were those?
The smoking hot, these three.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and even attended, I still kind of keep them in as well. That's probably those bottom four, really. But those three, those are really, I keep up with them for a good 6 to 8 weeks with frequent. Like whether it's even I'm just commenting on their content, guys. This isn't us saying I'm in their DM every 2 minutes, because I'm not. I do try to get into their DM about once a week, for sure. If it's right after an event, I'm in it way more often. Like if it's immediately after, or if they booked a call and they didn't follow through with a yes and pay me, then I'm actually following up right after the call with a thank you for the call, and then a little reminder of what we talked about, and then the next day, hey, how's things going? And it continues on a lot quicker. Current and past clients, if time is coming up, then I'm thinking about, are they going to renew? Are we, going to continue on? Past clients, if I have something coming up that I know is the right fit for them and actually would be a great thing, then I'm reaching out. Again, there is a constant churn of nurturing though. Like I'm always making sure that they're invited to my free events. If I got a new resource that came out, a lead magnet, or I did a really cool blog post or a video that I know would help them, I'm just sending them the link. It's not always with buy something from me. It's actual nurturing. It's saying, hey, I know this is there. I know we got a relationship. Sometimes I just reach out and ask for if they can connect me with anybody else for a referral. Anything what people like to help. So there's so many different ways you can nurture. Does all of that make sense? Cute.
It does.
Is this helping? Cool. Yeah, because I was having a feeling there was a disconnect of what actual leads are. And then when you pair this with the follow-up training we did the other day, then you'll have a complete of what everybody is, and start having a list, and then move the people up and down on your list, whether it's I'm using a freaking sheet, and then the people, once they hit this smoking hot, then they're going into ClickUp for me. That way we can easily start monitoring them. We're running a little bit behind on that, but we're getting there. All right, let me see. Do I have any more notes here for you? Yeah, so the big thing is about positioning. Once you have them on that, is you're wanting to, part of the reason for follow-up and for your leads is to make sure that you're working on the positioning of your offers with them. You want to make sure why they want to sign up now, not later. You're going to be wanting to remind them. I mean, sometimes if you know this has got to help people and that for some reason they're still being resistant, then sometimes you got to put that virtual foot in their ass too. But in other reasons, you're still wanting to do a gentle push, why now, not later? Because a lot of people aren't understanding that there can be some urgency. It can help them. They're leaving money on the table. They're not getting clients because they're not doing these things. You also want to maybe take away their fears, their objections that are coming up. This is all gentle stuff. I'm not saying you got to smack them in the head with it all. But if you know that someone has a fear, then and you've got say you just put out a nice piece of content that helps take care of that fear, you can be like, hey, I wanted to send you this link. This is something we were talking about not too long ago. You're just nurturing. You're just talking to people again. And you want to keep building the dream and painting the picture for them as to what life is going to be like without the problem that they're wanting to solve, or with the support, or how much better things are going to be. And then finally, the cost. What's it costing them by not taking action? So when you're thinking about your nurturing, you want to be thinking about those things too. Why is positioning, why you, why now, why not later, and why not someone else? And why they don't want to keep waiting. And you can do it all through conversation. Because you can even do it through a client story. You could be like, such as, you don't have to even name a name, or you can say, I just had a client not too long ago, was having this exact same problem. This is how we fixed it. This is how we took care of it. It's always just with the thought of nurturing and continuing to forward them towards being a client. And this is only for people that are actual clients. They're ideal clients. I mean, we're not trying to push anybody in who's not, or anybody who's not a fit. Like I just had a client call last week. The lady is perfectly my ideal client, except she's broke. She's amazing. I would love to work with her. She's brilliant. And she broke down crying on the call because she literally does not have the money to pay me. I am not going to pressure her into trying to buy for me, but I am going to keep nurturing that relationship. I already have been. I already know what part of the problem is, and I'm already sending her links to resources, whether they're mine or somebody else's, to help continue building up her confidence and working on her mindset for moving her forward into becoming a position where she can actually pay me. So sometimes we create our paying clients too. But she already knows she's my ideal client. She wants to work with me. So I'm going to do what I can to help make that happen. That's not saying I'm going to actually give her the program, because I'm not. But there are things I can do. I mean, it shows I give it, and I do give a shit. She's a brilliant, amazing person. I would love to see her advance, whether she ended up working with me or not. So I'm sending her stuff. So that goes for you guys as well. I mean, if you've got clients that are there, sometimes that follow-up turns them into your actual paying client, even if they weren't ready when they got on that call. So I am done. We got any questions? Oh, yeah.
Not about this, I don't think. No, I think that this was helpful because it helped clarify for me, how to qualify leads and how to qualify leads is probably the best thing. So very helpful in that regard.
Cool. Hold on and hold your thought a minute, because I can tell you got a question on something else. Ash or Becky, you got something on actual leads. Okay. Then we'll use the rest of this for coaching and brainstorming. So Leslie, I know you got a
Well, no, I
question.
mean
So
we have a call on Thursday, so I mean I can save a lot of those questions for that because they're specific to
okay.
me. So we don't have to go through them all today.
Okay. If there's anything here that will help the rest, go ahead and bring it. And if not, then we'll definitely be talking on Thursday.
Yeah, no, I have to go back and watch that 90-day content calendar that I was unable to remain on. There will be some questions out of that, but we can talk about that on Thursday. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and once you watch that, it's gonna be relatively easy. Now, do remember with you, we still got to decide what we're going to do. So
right.
obviously for you, you're going to be more focused on book the call, and we need to get your lead. Did you have a lead magnet? Remind me, please.
No, we talked about it on last Monday.
Okay.
But no, I haven't created one yet, but we did come up with some ideas.
Okay. Yeah, so we do need to get you a lead magnet so that you're moving people to the list for sure. And then on Thursday, let's talk about whether you do want to plan an event or something.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Ash or Becky, you want to bring some brainstorming, coaching, troubleshooting?
I think I'm all right at the moment.
That's good. Becky.
I think I'm just trying to gather momentum again for me to pick the kind of low energy up, and kind of get back on track with that, helping that I'm starting to feel better. And the kids go back this week. So having that normal routine, I'm really excited about. I really am. I'll be kicking them through the school gates. So yeah, having that normal routine is will be a key one to help me gain that kind of momentum. I am sat on the after. So obviously I am planning to do my free workshop in the middle of September. However, today I have just sat on the fence because Pickup are right now about to put me on to 3.0 this month. And obviously, certain things will change within that 3.0, and which is becoming abundantly clear within forum I am in, which may ever so slightly change how I'm doing, well, not how I'm doing it, but what people will see. So I need to do a little bit of digging in a minute about whether people are automatically now going on to 3.0 as soon as they sign up, because again, that will affect what I'm doing, and whether then do I just plow through and do this for September for a few weeks' time, knowing that actually it might be a little bit out in terms of what people are actually seeing, or whether I delay it until the beginning of October. I'm not quite sure what my gut's telling me.
You were doing your workshop next, right? What if this time you just go ahead and switch to your master class?
Which is what I was thinking. I could possibly do that, especially with what we did with the 90-day calendar last week. I could switch it out. I don't want to sit there and have people on there for 2 days and actually what I'm showing them isn't actually what they're going to see. And it didn't dawn on me until like last night when I'm thinking to myself, I looked at the email, like, and it must have been either last week or the end of the week before, where they were like, yes, we're rolling this out and you will get this before the end of September, basically. And I've been looking at the forums and everything, and it literally just dawned on me when I was thinking, oh, okay, this is what I'm posting this week, because I was literally sat there ready to go. It's going live today, and I've sat there and I've held off, and I'm like, is it right? But I think yes,
Swap
okay.
it. Just and I also there's another reason I would swap it too is your energy's running a little low right now. It's going to be easier to host a master class than it is a 2-day workshop.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah, it is. But then that again falls around my expectations of myself.
Is Becky, you gotta look at this. You're still planning to put out a live event.
I know. I know.
It doesn't matter if it's a 2-day challenge, a master class, or what. It doesn't matter. You're still doing an event.
Yeah. We're just gonna do it then. I'm gonna do it. I'm glad I aired those thoughts.
That's what we're here for. It's that exact kind of stuff. I mean, we all get hit by that kind of stuff sometimes. Like, okay, do I do this? Do I do that? I mean, but sometimes it's just
Yeah.
not the right timing, and that's what you got options for. Is something else is a better fit, then do it. Considering it's probably a lot of things are going to change, and you don't know how fast it's going to roll out for everybody, it makes sense. I mean, my DIY course that I'm getting ready to record, literally LinkedIn just pulled hashtags. Guess what? One of the days was going to be. So I'm readjusting real quick.
What do you mean
What's
LinkedIn
it?
pulled
Yeah.
hashtags?
What?
Nobody's paid attention to my post, I see.
Sorry, Heidi.
LinkedIn is slowly, and not everybody has got it yet, but they are doing away with hashtags.
Really?
Yeah, you might as well quit wasting your time.
Huh. Okay.
It's
So the
official.
Go on,
They
Heidi.
did. Well, I was going to say they didn't notify everybody, but somebody found out they couldn't search by hashtags like normal, so they submitted a ticket to LinkedIn. Nigel Cliff, I believe. I've got links all over. It's over in the free group and on my company page for sure on LinkedIn. There's links to the thing. And so they submitted a help ticket trying to figure out what was going wrong because they thought it was on their end, and they got the official reply back is we're doing away with them.
Huh. And because it's not hard enough to find people that you want to connect with as it is, we're going to make it harder.
So we're going to now focus more on SEO.
Well,
Keywords.
yes, exactly that. And so the reasoning is, and I'm not surprised this is happening because Google's also already done this. So yes, AI is changing the way search engines are going to return content in general. So yes, SEO is going to come in where everybody was lazy on learning SEO, that's going to change now. So if you're not using, and that doesn't mean AI is smart enough to pull stuff based on reference anyway now. So it's actually going to make searches easier in a sense for people to find actually what they're looking for. But it does mean that you need to have the common sense words and search terms that people actually they're using. I mean, I did a post today on LinkedIn where I literally was about to pull I've had a day with tech. Nothing's working right. But anyway, but just this one simple thing is I've been getting this freaking spam email from these people trying to get money. It's a whole one of those scammy ones where they're just trying to get you to pay money. And it looks like Best Buy in the US. And so I've been getting them for 3 goddamn months, 8 to 10 times a day. And I've been throwing them in the junk because it's on my work email, so it's not like with Google where you just hit spam and you get rid of them. Doesn't work that way. Theirs, I've been throwing them in junk for a while now, thinking that would get rid of them. Well, it didn't. So this morning I went on and I was like, oh, my web service has got a thing that tells me how to block somebody. 45 minutes later, because I'm sitting here thinking I'm the dumb one because I can't find it. I send a support ticket into tech support and I got to answer back. And immediately he just sent me the link to the right page. And you know what the problem was? He used reject instead of block. Now, nobody in the normal world uses reject for how to block an email. We use block an email. Nowhere in that article was the term how to block an email. But on the back end, if you were actually in tech and you were one of those people that actually set up the coding for email, the coding uses the word reject. And so whoever wrote their help thingy used reject. But that's a prime example of where if your stuff does not have the words that people are going to use, the search engine is not going to return it. And you're going to have a frustrated client 45 minutes later. And they're going to be in your inbox asking for help. Or they're going to have moved on and hired somebody else. So, but yes, I'm sad hashtags are going away because they did make it easy to follow certain types of content, and they haven't fully rolled them all gone yet. You may still be one of the ones with them. I actually still have the option, but I'm just going ahead and training myself now, not even bother. It my posts feel naked, I'm gonna be honest. They just feel
Yeah,
naked.
no, that they've been such a huge thing of what I, do for one of my clients. And, I researched them all so carefully and yeah,
Yep.
no, just not going to
Yeah.
include them. Okay.
Well, hopefully Instagram is the big one that I hope does away with them because, Instagram hashtags have been a bitch for years. So, because I mean, they change literally every month now that you need brand new ones. Unlike LinkedIn, where we can use the same ones, which we were lucky on that. But yeah, they're gone. So just if you got those keywords, try to slip them in occasionally. Don't keyword stuff. We don't need to do that, but
Mm.
just think about how your clients or your potential clients would word it and try to use that particular. Once again, it comes back to knowing your ideal client.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So the
Okay.
better you know them, the easier it's going to be to talk to them and for the search engines to return what they're actually looking for. But Google's gone the same route. So for their search engines, that's why they're telling everybody to write for people, not the machine anymore. AI is smart enough now. So keyword stuffing's not working so well anymore anyway. But one less task, one less thing to worry about, although my posts still look naked.
Yeah.
I've been 6.5 years on the platform. We've used hashtags almost the whole time. I think they came in the second year I started on there. Before that, we didn't use them either.
Linky likes to
Anything else?
keep us on our toes, right?
Yes, that's the platforms for you. But that's what it is. It's a mixture of strategy. You do it well, but fortunately the basics always stay the same. You're gonna always post high quality content. You're gonna get out, engage with people. You're still gonna connect and stuff like that. So the basics remain the same, and those keep the algorithms happy. Those keep everybody happy. And then it's everything else we have to tweak out slightly. How is everybody's reach doing? Ash and I were talking about this today on LinkedIn.
It hasn't got much, but it hasn't got much better. I'm limping to 200 impressions today, which is quite possibly.
Yeah.
I haven't had figures like that since I started on the platform.
I
I
don't
feel
know
I
if we
feel
have.
very unloved today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Notice
I'm
my
at
impression.
24 on mine, and I put an hour of engagement in around it too.
You've got 20.
I'm at 24.
I do
Jesus.
find it
Okay.
really fluctuates, like it randomly as well, I've noticed, where I could be putting in a lot more engagement. Actually, the impressions are still low. But I have noticed, I have to say, since May when I had that pivot, my impressions have slowly started to increase and are quite, they're not so kind of, I can't think of the word, erratic.
Yeah.
Undulating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing I'm seeing on the increase, except when I've been erratic with my stuff, is that I'm seeing, like, while I might not be getting the impressions I used to, the comments are steadily climbing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Also,
think that's kind of what I've seen too.
yeah. So conversation is important. Now, I don't know if they rolled out another change, but yeah, it definitely seems like views are massively down today already. So who knows? It's probably just today and something's happening. But yeah, because I put in an hour of engagement right around my post and it's got 24. I might be getting docked for the photo, but the photos are supposed to match the context of the text, and it definitely does that today. So we'll see. I may out of experiment tomorrow try it again without the photo just for fun, just to see.
Okay,
Because
well, no, the idea, no, it does. I was going to say my picture was deliberately designed to kind of like bring some personality.
yeah, mine was to display the frustration of wordage.
Jesus, maybe I'll just not bother with photos. Fuck it.
I will
Post now, Ash.
It just, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't get it. I just don't get it anymore. I really don't.
This is why we're trying to move them to our email list.
You know, it's fucking ridiculous. Like I've still got to do, and I will get one. I've got to just get Reface back up and running. But I'm going to literally going to superimpose my face over Maximus or whatever from Gladiator and go, is this not fucking worthy? You know, it's like behave yourself. It's still, they say, oh, valuable content, and you still just watch all this shit. How is that valuable?
Yeah, I know. That's
it
one of the most
valuable?
frustrating things about this platform
And
is, yeah, you see someone, here's a picture of my, I don't know, my Bali vacation, and it gets 147,000 views. You spend an hour, crafting something that you think your audience wants to read, and you get, you're lucky if you get 147 views. So it's like, it's so frustrating.
Well, just remember the 200,000 views is probably not ideal clients, and your 147 is
I do understand that.
your people.
Still.
I was going
I
to
know
mention that. I have a post. I haven't written it yet, but it's just I think it might upset people, but I'm going to do it because I feel like
Do it.
yeah, I will do it.
They share it to us.
Well, it's about pods.
I was getting ready to bring those up.
And I am suggesting that, and I'd be very surprised if this was not the case, that the large proportion of people that are using this platform are in a pod. I've been looking at it. I've been looking at the people that, even if it's not in name, the way that the engagement works, it's like it's the same people going, "Oh, well done."
Yeah, and that's the other thing that bugs me about LinkedIn is I think you're right, because I mean, so many times you see it's just people being, I don't know what's the word. There's a better word than saying sucking up, but that's sometimes how it comes along. I mean, people jump on a post and say, "Oh, you're the most awesome," insert job title here. Fun. No one does it better than you, and oh, you're fantastic, and oh, we love you, and oh, keep up the good work. And it's like, oh, fuck me.
Honestly, thank you.
That's the problem with social media in general, is you get people telling you you're wonderful on a daily basis. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry, people are not that amazing.
I am. I know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean,
I am too, but people just aren't realizing it. So
yeah, I think that's the issue, isn't it? It's coming out now, isn't it? It's like, where's the love for us? We're awesome.
We're not part of the pod.
Yes. Of course, there is some small measure of that. I mean, we got to be honest about ourselves. But I mean, no, I mean, to your point, Ash, I don't want people just commenting on my post if it's to tell me repeatedly and ad nauseum and without any variation of how wonderful I am. That doesn't accomplish anything. I don't need that kind of online validation from people.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, it's pods, and Ash brought it up before I did, but that was what I was going to do. And you're right. The most popular creators on there are in pods.
Yeah.
Like these guys, like it or not, Nate Behrman, Jazz, Matt Barker, all of those guys are in a pod, and they're all in it together. Yeah, they're all in it together too. They're all in the same pod.
You can see them post, like, comments on each other's.
Yeah.
I think the thing, just for me, what my ultimate frustration is, I just feel like I'm back at fucking school or the office again, like the it just makes me feel
high school cliquish.
I ain't got the time for it. So that was where I've spent and I know this is challenging. I've spent less time on it since I come back from holiday because I'm like, there it is. I've done my thing, and I'm going to get on with my day.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the manipulative thing about all this too, is so many people follow these guys. So they're doing things too to even manipulate their audience so that they get more comments, and everybody doesn't even realize. Like Jasmine, how do you say his name? I know you guys all know. Yeah. Well, he's sitting there. He's like, don't just comment your comment, but then comment on 3 more people's on the thread. It's 4 comments from you on the one thread. Now, I'm not arguing that it cannot increase your visibility, because it can.
For sure.
It can. But what he is doing is bumping up the commenting on his own thread artificially.
Right.
And it's increasing his views. So if every single person that comes to comments 4 times, that's why he's getting 700, 800 more, 1,000 more, or better comments. And then, of course, his pod people are taking that same advice. They're putting it on their threads. And so they're starting to do the same thing. Richard Vanderbloom is another one that does it.
Yeah.
Now, and he actually is a LinkedIn expert that I do follow. His shit, he knows his shit. He really digs into it. But they're all part of the same pod, and they're all using the same tactics to get everybody to engage. So you've got a choice. Either you fall in and do this stuff yourself, which, by the way, don't forget, we got our little in the group there. We can still drop our threads and at least get some comments from each other to feel better, if nothing else. At least you know you won't be getting it just your fantastic or a comment, and you'll get something that's actually worth something.
Yeah,
So
ultimately.
Go ahead, Ash.
No, after you. I think you got it.
I was just going to say, you're always saying, have conversations with people, but, I don't just want to have conversations about, how marvelous I am. I mean, let's have a conversation about, something else. I mean, there's some measure of that is fine, because it helps, build your online reputation, but don't just come in and just blindly pop in and say another great post, exclamation point, smiley emoji. I mean, that does me no good at all.
I'll tell you what these people haven't realized that are commenting like that is LinkedIn, this past algorithm change set up that those type of comments actually aren't counted anymore.
Okay.
So LinkedIn is trying to help that. But the problem is still when they get 500 of those comments, the algorithm's still going to think there's a little bit of something there. So it is going to increase engagement. But like when you start getting, so if and I do comment on a couple of those guys' content because I have pulled some of my target audience from them. But when I do, I'm leaving a valuable comment. There's no bullshit going into it. And I'm willing to call them out on their shit too. So sometimes they're not too. I notice sometimes I don't get a comment back from them because they ain't happy with what I said. But it is what it is. I'm not there to say you're marvelous no matter what you do.
Oh, you're the best writer on LinkedIn, and everybody who works with you just thinks you're wonderful and wants to throw buckets of money at you. And oh my God.
Leslie, just stop now. You're making my
now you're gonna make him blush.
My life.
He's gonna grow hair. No.
See that's it. Literally, my hair is growing back. You've stimulated my whatever part of the brain my ego's in that much. It's made my hair grow back.
How about that influencer one that said, "Oh, I'm leaving LinkedIn," blah blah blah, and he got. Oh my God, what are you going? What's going on? So everybody thought he was leaving LinkedIn, and he was just about, it was like clickbait or whatever. I was just laughing.
Oh, I called that one out so hard.
Was that Jake Ward? Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what the? Yeah.
I just couldn't let that one slide. I was just like, nah, this is nothing but clickbait, man. You can do better than this.
I keep still noticing the fact these people, these same people, on the bottom of their posts are still adding random comments about and talking about something that's not to do with just to get more comments, which is really annoying. Mm.
Yeah.
On a positive note, have we tried LinkedIn AI yet
No,
in
No.
terms of drafting posts?
No.
I haven't had the privilege of playing with that one yet.
I've had it.
Mm.
I
I'm not
haven't had
sure.
it for the I haven't had it for the post, but I have it for my profile, and it's the worst thing ever. I did a whole thing demonstration of it on my company page. If you guys haven't seen it,
Was it? I saw it. I've got that. It was like, do you want a new pro? I was like,
What's in the profile one?
uh, go
how
check the
about no?
post. It's hilarious. I mean, it's like, it's in third person. They actually want to rewrite your about place. It's third person to even start there. Let's just start with that.
Oh,
But
God.
seriously, go look at my company page. I did a whole video. I did the actual video walkthrough of it.
Wowzers.
It if I sometimes want to do it just for shits and giggles to see what would actually come of.
I might just I did I'm just editing that video I was telling you about, and I've done a bit of it as AI.
Oh,
But I've just got to put some animations over the top of it instead of just me being an AI, because there's actually some, despite my best efforts, there was some expression still on my face.
Stop cracking yourself up.
Oh, I've had to, yeah. There was a few times. No, I was able to deliver it pretty well, but it's just that's the thing. This is where AI, certainly AI avatars, just certainly at the moment, and I suspect it'll be the case for some time. They're just, when it comes to the subtle movements in your face, I can't.
Yeah.
It's just good luck.
Yeah, it's not there
You know,
yet.
they can do I've seen some of them. Yeah, it looks like their eyelids have got Tourette's. I mean, probably, hey, gee, behave yourself. And some of them can do the odd. There's something going on with the side of the mouth, but all of this up here in the forehead and all of that, nah.
Yeah, it'll be some time. They're working on it though.
Need to add a few laughter lines there, Tech. There you go. And then you're off and running. But yeah, that's been fun doing that. I'm half tempted. I don't know if I can yet create videos with an AI avatar and have a conversation with one of them.
That'd be
Oh,
cool.
that would be fun.
Because
Like,
I mean, I've had conversations where I've done like the clone videos
yeah.
Uh-huh.
that you have to be really, really careful with that so that you don't disappear when you do the fades and everything. But actually having a conversation with an AI,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
You should be able to do it.
I could probably do an audio, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I've obviously I had a conversation on TikTok with a bot the other day that was trying to ask me if I was married or not. Oh, well, that escalated really quickly, didn't it?
From a bot. I mean, it's one thing to be getting those inquiries from a live person, but now the bots are even asking you that.
Yeah, she didn't last so long. She said, "Oh, where are you from?" "I'm from Warwick," which I'm not. But I was like, "Okay, I'm from Warwick." And she said, "Oh, really? Yeah, me too." I was like, "Oh, small world, isn't it?" I was in Warwick. Where? So where do you hang out? I'd love. Let's maybe meet one day. Boom, bye-bye. That's what I thought.
Oh man.
Brilliant. You got to have fun with these things, though, don't you, sometimes?
Well, it comes to something when the only date you can get is from a bot. Yes, Mum, I will get married one day. I'm just trying to find a fragment of my imagination on the internet actually once. Very me.
Ay.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, no, that would take you to entirely new depths of despair to find out that even the online bots are rejecting you. So that you know.
Yeah, I really
Horrible.
I was so eager to meet them in Warwick. I really was, but they just they you know they just didn't want to reveal their secret, the places where they went for coffee. I was going to suggest, well, let's meet there together.
Yeah, well, they might have been afraid you might be a stalker. That's a, you know.
What should from somebody who comes out, the second question is, are you married? I didn't think they were particularly shy and retiring, so I thought, right.
Oh God. I know. It's just, I think I got two connections because I'm sure you guys are getting inundated with the appointment setters.
Yes.
Oh my God. So I got two of those today, and one of them she actually took the time to put a note into it too from LinkedIn and everything. And she's like, "Oh, I see we have such and such in common, and I'd love to connect." And I'm just looking at her headline. I'm like, "You ain't got no chance in hell."
Well,
Just
you didn't want you didn't want 575 leads a day.
I did not.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah, right. I know, I had one actually arguing with me not too long ago. He's like, "You really don't." Well, he was only promising 100 per month, so at least it was a little bit more manageable than a lot of them, and a little more realistic than a lot of them too. And I'm like, "Do you know what it would be like for me to get on a call with 100 people per month?" He got kind of quiet, and I was like, "Sounds like my version of hell." And I said, "If they were even qualified." "Oh, of course they'll be qualified." And I was like, "Did you just not hear me? Who the hell wants to get on and talk to 100 potential leads per month?" I mean, at me at this point, I don't. Maybe if I have a team and I've grown that much, then the
Yeah,
team can help
no,
handle those calls. But for me
no,
to do 100 of those, oh,
no.
just shoot me now.
Oh dear. Yeah, well, it'd be a good opportunity to practice your sales pitches. It was like
I mean,
I mean,
you know what? I'd be
surely if
good
you're
when
doing
it was
100 a
done,
month,
right?
by the end of it, the law of averages, you will even never do another sales call ever again, or you at least get a few sales in. I mean,
Or you'll be the best salesperson out there.
you're like, I've got this figured out. Oh, great. Only another 89 to go. Boom.
Yeah.
Seychelles, here I come if I ever get round these fucking 89 calls.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, sorry. I'm just about to get on the plane. Right. This is call number 76. Right. Let's go. All right, cool. We're gonna make this happen.
Yeah.
But you, 2 minutes.
You know,
I've got you closed in 2 minutes now because I've gotten it down.
if I get these sales, if I get this other sales call, I'll be able to afford the Wi-Fi on the plane, and I can do the 81 and 82. Boom.
All right. There we go.
Living
man.
hashtag live. Oh no, we don't use them anymore.
That's right.
SEO, living the dream.
You know what? We're still going to be using hashtag